Hello and welcome to today's video. You join me for the Super League Season 6 EU Division 1C Match Day 4. And it is my Lizardmen, the same Lizardman team as I'm running in this NAF League using the Eurobowl rule set for Hungary. Today I am playing versus Lemonhead Wallerstein's Tonga Norse team. So let's have a quick look at the teams. So my team is the same as always: 4 Blocksaurus, 2 Guardsaurus, a Croxagore, a Chameleon Skink, Skinks to make 11, 2 rerolls, and an Apo. And over here, Lemonhead has a Juggernaut Yeti. He has 2 Guard Ulfwurners, a Wrestle Valkyrie, a Dodge Valkyrie, a Mighty Blow Berserker, 2 Beer Boars and 2 Beer Pigs, and then a Tackle Lineman with lineman making 13. Just to touch on briefly, obviously as I've said in previous videos, I will not be delving into the Eurobowl Hungary rule set. Plenty of videos have been made, plenty of content is out there, plenty of opinions have been shared. But the main thing to note here is you might think to yourself, well, why hasn't he taken block on both Ulfwurners or block on one of the Valkyries, for example? And the reason is, or block or even on the Yeti, and the reason is that you cannot take additional skills if you already have 4 or more of that skill. So that's why I've only got 4 Blocksaurus, and that is why, because pretty much the whole of the Norse team has block on most of its players, so you can't take the additional blocks. So now historically, versus Norse with lizards, I always have struggled versus Norse. It's nothing in particular. I think it's just a bit more of a bogey matchup. I don't think it's necessarily too bad for the lizards. I think with the Yeti can fire with the claws. The Ulfwurners providing additional strength 4, and then it's just the blanket block really, meaning that your strength 4 guys are not always knocking over the linemen because the linemen all have block. So yeah, I have struggled before in the past. I've had some amazing wins versus Norse before as well, of course. But typically I'd say that if I sit down with lizards and I face Norse, then there is always that slight concern that it may not go my way. So let's have a look and see how we get on today. So I win the toss and decide to kick. The Guardsaurus here are being manoeuvred for a frenzy trap here, because I don't want the Ulfwurners or the Yeti to come in and get too easy hits on things. And we immediately roll a blitz. It's a short kick, and we roll a blitz. So we blitz with the Croxagore. We get the pow into a stun and tail on the ball if the ball lands in the it bounces around the Croxagore. So pretty amazing. Skink under the ball as well, so we might be able to catch the ball. And then just the 4 players activated. So not the worst blitz you could see, but the scatter is phenomenal. So obviously we have exposed a skink for a hit here, choosing not to go onto the ball with the hit there. And the armor breaking into a stun. So yeah, the beer boar here not going to be able to deal with the Croxagore. But here's the scatter play from the Ulfwurner, and it's still in the tackle zone of the Saurus. Oh, sorry, of the Croxagore. The Valkyrie comes in, fails the pickup, and lets it go. So ball on the floor. We do have our own scatter potential here. So we're just taking some blocks. This guard one's standing up. We try and tag this wrestler. We go for the hit on the Mighty Blow because I was slightly concerned by that piece, and also it meant that if we rolled the defender stumbles rather than being on this one, we would get the knockdown. So a blitz here on this lineman to clear the channel through. Gets extra tags there. Chameleon Skink just moving forward a bit. And then this guy runs through. We get the pickup. We get the dodge. We get the rush. And then we can come and stand there so the wrestler isn't available. So, FUMBBL doing some work, standing up the prone player. So the block there to free this lineman for the blitz. Double skulls into quad skulls, and I mean this is outrageous now. You know, this is absolutely outrageous. The Norse team are all based up. We're going to get loads of hits here. Just a push on that one though, but we're going to get loads of hits. And yeah, pretty much the dream start for the Lizards. Don't knock the beer ball down. Get another hit on the beer ball. Still don't knock it down because that's the one without block. Just providing a little bit of a screen here. That could have happened a lot sooner. Screening there. Croxigor just rolling pushes, so not quite as bad as it could have been, and we failed the dodge there. So yeah, not too bad for the Norse. They didn't lose too many, didn't lose any players as they could have done. But yes, definitely to be looking at possibly 1-0 up on the Norse drive is fantastic. For us here. So obviously we're looking to see how long we can stall out for. We might be able to get another 2 turns potentially. Yeti coming in for the blitz on the Croxigor. Does get the knockdown. Gets the KO. Instant Apo from me on that occasion. As I touched on in the kind of introduction point, it's the removals with the Yeti's claw that can come into play. And there's another removal. So another KO. And 3 KOs in 1 turn. So let's just have a look there. So we've gone from having the ball in our control, you know, eyeing up possibly another 2 turns of stalling, potentially, you know, scoring on our turn 4, giving them only 4 turns back. There was a realistic chance of that there. Into KO by the Yeti, which we Apo immediately. First KO, we're Apoing on one of the Saurus or the Croxigors. But then we've now suffered another 2 KOs on Saurus. So yeah, I think already with the pressure that's now building here, with nothing to swing back with over this side, we've lost all our pieces that can swing back and help. I think we are probably looking at just a blitz and then banging it in here. Unfortunately. So yeah, blitz coming on the Mighty Blow guy. Obviously we kind of try and cover something in case of the quad skulls, and we just bang it in. Now I do wonder whether we might have been able to eke out another turn. I guess we would have been hit, but we were looking for that. The really big news though, neither of our Saurus return. Neither Saurus return. So that Apo on that KO, absolutely critical to keep us on 9. And this is why I prefer the Apo over the Keg. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, but Hellboy, you just lost 3 players to KOs there. But I would rather have guaranteed in that moment when the first KO occurred, I knew that I had to Apo. And I would rather Apo the KO. Just quietly skull both down there with an Ulfwerner, so very nearly a turnover there, which would have seen huge pressure flooding through. With a successful Croxigor blitz and then the Skinks all coming through. But yeah, so I really do prefer the Apo over the Keg. I know that there's a lot of players that do prefer the Keg, but for me that's just asking for preparation against the absolute worst and not playing to win. I think if you have the Apo, you can play to win a lot more because you can be reactive around. When the KO happens, you can dictate that you're Apoing. So ball in hand, 11 versus 9. Okay, we've scored the touchdown, so it is 1-0 to us. But this is already looking like the Norse should be able to get the touchdown within 5 turns. So the Croxagore running through to kind of try and get a bit of pressure in the midfield for when the ball inevitably does need to move up. We dodge away from tackle. Bit of skink pressure in here. And then going through this way, get a bit of skink pressure in over here. Staying away from these pieces here so that the blitz can't just give a free hit. That's quite key there. I mean, obviously, if blitzing with frenzy, then it could be you can just go push, right? But and skink removal, not too worried about that. However, in terms of the drive itself, it's not looking great now in terms of numbers. 11 versus 8. I think the Norse would be very happy to see that, given their kind of glass cannon armor. And another POW there. And another removal, and all of a sudden it's like if you saw the last match day that we had with the vampires, this is now penance for that, I fear. And another removal, and we are down to 2 Saurus. If the 2 KOs don't come back, this is disaster level. We went for the blitz with the Croxagore here. We do get the wrestler down in return. We went for the blitz with the Croxagore to get the tail on the ball. But this is disaster. This is disaster zone for us. And from such a strong start, the removal rate has just gone completely against us. We did use the reroll there. And a stun on the Ulfwern is nice. But not completely out the woods. Obviously, the blitz is going to come on the Croxagore, we would assume, to free the Crocs, to free the ball. No, instead the blitz is coming on the skink. So relying on the dodge here or the block. Goes for the block. Dauntless reroll needed. Very spicy from Lemon there. And another removal. Another Saurus down. And, I mean, at this point here, you know, for those of you who've either watched the YouTube for a while, or those of you who know me from tabletop, from Twitch streams, etc., you know how positive I am. You know what kind of player I am. You know how positive I am. You know it's never over. All these great lines, you know, there are no dice, all that stuff, all that good stuff. But right now, I knew I was facing down the barrel of a pretty big shotgun because yeah, this is not looking good at all. 5 Saurus currently off the pitch. 3 of which are not coming back, so at best we will have 3 Saurus, the Croxagore, and 3 Skinks. That is the best case scenario. Yeah, this is against a full Norse team still at this point. So yeah, very concerning for me right now. Let's see how the remainder of the half plays out. So yeah, we go for the dodge here. Now I kind of thought to myself, it's a bit all or nothing here. And with it being all or nothing, it was time for the Croxagore blitz play. The 5-me not working, and the loner reroll not working there. But I really was willing to go and try and take the both down to see if I could scrape a draw out of this game. So the Norse just moving themselves forward here. So the Valkyrie here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rush. So just a rush away. No rerolls though, so if we could somehow engineer a push, maybe we can get an uphill push here, make it 2 rerolls, 2 GFIs, to see if they can get into the end zone. That might be good. Obviously here is the blitz. Poor skink. Double skulls, very interesting. So there is a world where we can get this uphill. So we know that there is we're dodging through tackle there just quietly, and a rush. So we are going for the uphill blitz. There is a world where we get the double both down or the power both down. We do put the reroll in. We get the power push. So, dodging out here, and then we can screen a bit here. So we are forcing dice rolls to occur here, and we go for the uphill on the Yeti there and get the result that we wanted with the skink at that point in time. But here, as you can see, we forced a block to occur. You could have just walked through here. Don't actually need to do this this blitz. You could just go diagonally, but decides to do the blitz with the tackler. Another stun, but it now, with that uphill, is now going to be 2 rushes to get into the end zone. And failure on the first one, the 70% touchdown not coming off. So, Croxagore blitz. So we've somehow managed to survive to be 1-0 up on the Norse drive. So the draw is still very much on the table. However, look at those KO rolls. 5 Saurus off the bench, on the bench, and 1 skink. So my thought process here was, can we just score as quickly as possible and see if we can get 2-0. The brilliant coaching goes to the Norse on this occasion. So my thinking was, we can either run forward and try and score, or we can turtle and wait for them to come to us and possibly lose the game. So I went for the pickup and the handoff here. However, the rolls were a 2 and a 1 on the catch with the reroll. However, I did forget the disturbing presence of the Yeti. So possibly in hindsight, we should have actually had the skink in this square. So that's a small error from me there. 1, 2, 3 squares for the disturbing presence here. If the skink was in this square here, we wouldn't have had that. Now, obviously, we rolled a 2 and a 1. But it's still, we still should have remembered the disturbing presence on the Yeti there. So that one's entirely on me. So the outcome of the dice rolls doesn't matter. It's the fact that we didn't remember the disturbing presence. But now we are in a bit of a pickle. As I say, I thought about dackering, turtling, and then trying to run through, but I felt like that was just going to be a case of them turning me over quite quickly because I just don't have the players to screen. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have run away and just kind of then hope for the best and gone forward for the draw here. But as it stands, this is the situation we're facing. We are staring down the barrel of the gun with this many Saurus out, so it was always going to be tough whatever option we choose. So let's see how the match plays out. So still very much looking like a draw at this point in time. Draw with win chances for us, although slim, because we are 1-0 up. So the Norse now can all swarm in, jam us in, like a Bob Marley song. We're jamming. So tackle hit coming on here. Not really. I don't think really particularly interested with the ball at this point in time. More just trying to see if they can get more attrition, because we've definitely hit critical lizard. And the Yeti not working there, but 4 tackle zones on the ball, you feel is pretty great. Still 4 tackle zones with that block there. Dodging here, covering there, dodging back. So just trying to make it, trying to free 2 squares if we can, and then the chameleon skink just runs away with that bonehead from the croc. So not a particularly exciting turn. We are leaving a lot of hits on, but we were trying to clear 2 tackle zones off the ball, so it was only going to be a 5 on the pickup for the chameleon. It didn't play out in the end. That's the way it goes. So here comes the blitz. Gets the pow on the chameleon skink there. No armor break though, which is nice. A push into a double both down, which gets re-rolled into a pow. Sets up a foul on the Yeti deciding to move. Sets up a foul if they get the ball. They do. Re-roll goes in. And then This could secure up there, and then foul with the beer. Ball, yep, foul on the chameleon. No, nothing happens though. So be it. So we try the Croxagore hero play. He does make the dodge. And gets the pow. No armor break, unfortunately. We do get the rush with the final reroll going in. We are in nightmare zone now, and there's another failed dodge away from the tackle. So yeah, this is not looking healthy for us now. Down another player with the Norse very much in control. Going for the. Didn't go for the surf. Thought would have gone. Thought we might have gone for the surf with the Ulfwerner. Instead, goes for the block. Would have possibly got the surf there with 2 pushes on the first one. The Valkyrie picks the ball up. Can't score this turn, so that is another turn that we've managed to burn. But I think we all know what's coming now from the beer ball. Yep. Just a stun, no send off. So Croxagore tries to blitz himself out, otherwise he will get surfed. Skull comes up. So all the players are on the floor, so the question is there a foul? No, the Valkyrie just bangs it in. 1-1 now. So now 1-1, we've got to survive 4 turns. We do have our 2 Saurus back, but we're still only 6 players. So here we might get lucky and catch the ball, meaning that we don't need to worry about the pickup. No, it scatters onto Skinks multiple times, and no pickup there, unfortunately. So here now I decided that it was time just to turtle, and I think in hindsight, possibly running away and trying to turtle and then Daka through, so run away with the ball and then try and go through, might have been a better play rather than trying the quick score. But who's to say? Who's to say if it's right or wrong? I think we were in such big trouble last time with only having 1 Saurus on the field. I think we were in so much trouble anyway. I don't even know if that would have been the right play. We might have been able to get an extra turn of burn out the way, meaning that the Norse would have less turns to score. So yeah, the pressure just flooding in here. Norse running down at the lizards. Yeti with the blitz. Does he want to behave? Does. Gets the knockdown. No armor break though. And the beer ball strengthening that side there, so the blitz can kind of run through that side, not super easy. So we decide to blitz with the Croxagore to try and free up this Saurus here, and then we're going to swing around over this. Okay, we're dropping back instead. That's fine. I think I was looking at maybe a swing over here, but I guess dropping back here is good. This Skink's now out of range of everything. So yeah, only the 6 players. This Saurus being down here is what it is. Nothing much we could do in terms of the LOS. I think it was right to position the way we did for this short drive. So more pressure just piling in from the Norse. We've got to somehow survive 2 turns here. And they have 3 rerolls as well. So yeah, 2D into 2D here on the push if needed. No, but no armor break. And the Yeti gets the knockdown into KO. So yeah, back to just 5 players here. So decide to look at the corner play. Obviously, if this was turn 8, this would be better because we could really make it hard to dodge through. But instead, this is turn. Oh, just failing to get the rush there. That would have been really nice to get the rush there, just because it would have made turn 8 nicer. Instead, now the pressure can come in, can surf this guy, and then guarantee the basing hit here. So you can you've got a block and a blitz here, but it is what it is. So there's the push, and here's the surf. Yep, very nice. So yeah, so it's not looking ideal. There's the and 2 re-rolls gone all of a sudden. Pretty great to see the 2 re-rolls go. Now let's just take a look at the end board state here. Foul in here. Okay, so we'll see that. Actually, let's see the outcome of that block first. Wow. So, both down there. Burns the final reroll. Now, my turn here. I know what I do, but I'm wondering if there was a better way. So, we stand this guy up just to be a nuisance. Just to be a nuisance. We blitz with this here and move 4. 4's the hit. Let's say we power 4, 5, 6 just to be here. This guy just stands, I guess. Then we could try the dodges. I think it's really tough, isn't it? Because if we try the dodges and we fail, if we dodge to here and we make it without popping dodge, we dodge to here, I think. But it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we stand behind the Croxigal, but that puts us right next to the tackler. And then maybe we do this dodge last then? If we make all of that, we then try the 5-2 to tag here. Because it puts the ball here. Potentially in the tackle zone of the Croxigal. That might be interesting. But if we go here and we pop dodge, we then just stay there. But then what if we go here and pop dodge? We can't just stay there because it's easier surf. Like it's there's much less randomness in terms of where the ball goes. Really tough, really tough. If anyone's got any ideas on how to play this final turn, please do leave something in the comments, because I know what I do here. So this just stands up. That just stands up. That's the blitzing here to try and get rid of this guy that's further back. But we stay where we are with the skink. So here's the block. No rerolls. Where's the ball going? Bounces very close to the Croxigal. Not quite Croxigal though. But it does mean that there is going to have to be a handoff play. Or a pass. There is a pass. There is a catch. And the Norse win the game. Now, what a match! I mean, just look at that Cas box there for the end of the game. We know that you win games of Blood Bowl by scoring more touchdowns than the opponent, but sometimes the removals do come into play, and this game was certainly one where the removals came into play there. Yeah, I mean, I said it at the beginning. For some reason, I struggle sometimes against Norse. I don't think it was necessarily anything other than the high rolls on the removals, but we did allow ourselves to get hit, and I do think I probably misplayed the second half. I think I probably should have just run away, tried to burn extra turns, because even if they do score, leaving only 3 turns probably means that it's a lot harder for them, because they'd had to dodge into tackle zones to get the knockdown. I feel a little bit sad that we weren't able to capitalise on the fact that they burnt 3 re-rolls on 1 turn. Through blocks with Ulf Werners, which feels a little bit silly. If I'm being critical, it feels a little bit silly that they The Norse did use 3 rerolls when they had the opportunity to go into turn 8 with 3 rerolls, which they might have needed. But yeah, so that's the way the cookie crumbles. We got incredibly lucky versus the vampires in the previous game, so not gonna whinge about how the result goes there. And yeah, it really highlights the point of how tough the Super League can be. So we are now on 2-1-1. And we are. None of the games are going to get any easier as we head into the final 3 matches. So all that remains for me to say is, if you've enjoyed this match, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment on the video if you've got any ideas on how to play that final turn maybe a bit differently, or if you agree with the fact that maybe I should have just run away in the second half rather than looking to push through. But there we go. It was an interesting game. And we'll see how it goes with the rest of the season. So you can join me next week for what will be match day 5. So until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye now.